It's likely that many of us have come from activity this morning, and as we sit here in stillness, it's like the body is still, but the inner workings are still kind of swirling. And so just let your system land on your chair and let the whole system begin to register the invitation to rest that is rising up, first through the actual stillness of the ground. So just give yourself time to settle. As we close our eyes, there can be a deluge of thoughts and sensations and emotions and a lot of the details of our lives that maybe we weren't aware of prior to. And as we come into stillness, they get magnified. And this is all part of the first moments of sitting in meditation. And so being patient with that particular stage. And as always, just bringing awareness down, inhabiting the lower half of the body, which is in direct contact with the ground, to really take in, like through the felt sense, this sense of holding, this invitation to rest. And it's often a progressive unfolding that the body goes through to accept the invitation, perhaps even one cell at a time. But keeping attention down low to start can be extremely helpful. It just also helps to remove the usual focus we have on the contents of the mind as we literally take attention from up here to down here. And we may need to be gently persistent in coming back again and again, particularly in the first moments of a sitting practice. And as we sit in stillness and in quiet, we become all that much more aware of the constant stream, a parade, you could say, of details that float into consciousness and out of consciousness. And it can feel like a lot at first, whether it be thoughts that are coming through, memories, images, feelings, solution finding, planning, and all of these things that come to kind of like move in from some field, and there they are in our consciousness. And they may stay for a while, and they may just move right through, and then they disappear and something else comes. It is actually like a parade. So the practice to disengage ourselves from needing to attend to all of these details that arise in consciousness is first and foremost to allow everything to be as it is. It's not wrong that a lot of details are moving through. And there's nothing that you should do or even that you can do to stop it. So you just let it all be. You let go of needing to add any kind of play-by-play on this ever flowing parade. You practice just really kind of leaning back energetically, and sometimes even physically a little bit helps to just notice, the workings of your being. And to consider that perhaps nothing needs to be done. And even in that first step of allowing things to be as they are, there's already a kind of a distance that begins to make itself known. There's already the flavor of presence that begins to come in. Well, it's not really coming in because it's always here, but becomes available to you. And so see if you can kind of sense for that. So yes, I've got these details of thought, sensation, all of that feeling moving through. And when I just let them be exactly as they are, practice that, there's space, there's distance, there's openness. And so let your interest guide you towards the sense of that, even as the parade continues. It's just the nature of our being. The mind thinks, and it will continue to think, even in the most elevated states. The body generates sensation. That's what it is to be alive. The feeling body is continuously integrating information from the nervous system, from the energetic system. That will always continue to happen. But when we let go of control, then we get to experience for ourselves this almost immediate access to greater space. Maybe we wouldn't yet call it presence, but perhaps there is kind of a sense of that as well. And so the practice is really to allow both of these states of being so both the inevitable parade of details coming in and coming out, as well as a kind of a sense of spaciousness, of availability, and to let them coexist, because they do coexist. One of the places we get caught is that we want it to be one or the other. Either we're entirely kind of hooked into the details. And when we sit in meditation, we expect that we should be able to just move into presence and the details will disappear. And they may happen all on its own, but for the most part, the practice is to recognize that both are here. And what's beautiful about that is that there's no energy going into micromanaging the details. And yet they are given the freedom to come and go as they please. And simultaneously, when our energy is no longer tied up in controlling the details, then there's this natural sinking, you could say, dropping into the spaciousness, the radiance that is presence. So, for the sake of this practice, seeing yourself as a spectator of this parade of details can help to bring you more directly into contact with presence, with relaxation. So it's more of a kind of a witnessing quality, which isn't the whole thing, but it could be a very good place to start. And then the more we rest in and as presence, the more that the separation between the details and presence disappears. And there's a sense that presence exists within the details and the details exist within presence. And there's a sense of a blending. But to start, it can help to just lean back into more of a witnessing or a spectator type of viewpoint and just kind of sensing what that feels like, how the breath responds to that disengaging from the details, how the body responds. Perhaps there's a softening, a relaxation. How the feeling body feels freer. So for the rest of today's meditation, I invite you to open to these two coexisting aspects of your experience and to practice allowing them to peacefully coexist and in time to inform each other. And particularly to orient towards the sense of presence. There's a feeling to it. To really kind of lean into how it expresses in your body. Maybe as a kind of a brightness, a spaciousness. Maybe a lightness, an expansion, whatever it is for you. Just sort of see what it is that presence feels like in your body, because that will help it to be more accessible and more anchored in your direct experience. What does presence feel like? And can I just rest and enjoy that? And through my enjoyment of it, encourage this natural deepening and expansion of presence into my whole experience.